Hey YouTube, I'm David the Fishing Pastor, and I want to talk to you today about drop shot fishing. It's a rig that I started fishing this year. Um, I had heard about it, but I hadn't really tried it yet, and man, it's so incredible. Catches a whole lot of fish. It's that finesse fishing. I'm not going to show you how to tie it. There's a bunch of videos that show how to tie it, but really, it's for suspended fish. Really, your hook is up top and then your weight is down at the bottom, and so it works just really well, and you can fish a number of things on it. One of my favorite baits to fish on it is the robo worm fat worm. It's really made for drop shot fishing or for shaky head fishing, and it works so well. But you could toss anything on there, and see if it works. I've had tremendous success on the robo worm, so I've been using it a whole lot. But I'm here today at the river. There's some smallmouth behind me. There's a little pool with some smallmouth, and I'm gonna go ahead and give it a try and see what I'm able to get with them. So the way this works, you want to use a lighter rod. This is my Daiwa Crossfire. It's a medium spinning rod. I have 10-pound braid on here, and then I have an 8-pound fluorocarbon leader. You want to use light line. Again, this is not the kind of fishing where you're going to be really, setting that hook as hard as you can. Once they grab it, you just kind of got to pull up, and you're generally going to hook them pretty well. The way you want to hook these baits, you can do it in, again, a number of different ways depending on how you're using it, depending on what you're using. But the way I hook these generally is to nose hook them. So it's going to go in through the bottom, and then it's just going to slightly protrude through the nose of the bait itself. So it's really slight, and again, the moment they grab onto that, they're gonna get hooked pretty easily. But you can Texas rig them depending on the situation that you're fishing. You can even wacky rig them, and you can throw some bigger finesse baits. They don't have to all be small. I'm generally throwing about 4 inches on the drop shot, but it does catch a lot of fish, but it does catch smaller fish because, again, the presentation is smaller. This is a one-aught hook. You can go bigger, and then I have a drop shot weight at the bottom there. And again, it's a medium rod. It has a lot of bend to it. It's really light, and it works so well for this application. Again, it's just that finesse fishing, and there's times when I just fish it, and there's times when I use it as a follow-up. I'll throw a crankbait, and there's been a couple times now that I lose a fish on the crankbait, and I ended up getting it back on the drop shot. So I'm going to show you a clip of that right now. And this was a fish. It was the second one of the day that I had gotten. It was on a square bill crank, which was working great. He spit it out, so I lost him on there. I made one more cast with the crankbait. He didn't bite, so I went back. I grabbed the drop shot rig and almost immediately hooked up on him. So it was the same exact setup, same hook, same line, 8-pound fluorocarbon leader. Again, you want it to be finesse so they can't see it. The water I'm going to be fishing right now is pretty clear, so I really don't want the fish to be able to see the line. And again, these are smallmouth bass back here, but I've been catching largemouth bass. I came out here the other day. I had a couple of minutes, ended up catching a smallie on the same rig. So I'm here today. I'm going to throw a few different things. I may throw the robo worm, but I do have, this is a Zoom Super Fluke Junior. I really want to see whether that'll work out because they eat smaller fish here, and that kind of has that profile. I have a Yum warning shot. Again, this is great. It's that kind of translucent color. This water is super clear, so that'll work real good. This is what I caught it that smallie on the other day. It's also from RoboWorm. I don't remember. I think it's from RoboWorm. I could actually be wrong. Actually, I might be wrong. I don't remember exactly what company this is, but it's a worm, and then that tail on the back is very loose on there, so that works pretty good. And then I may even wacky rig this 4-inch Yum Dinger, and it has a chartreuse tail on there. So I'm going to try a few different things, see what we hook up on. Again, it's such a good finesse rig to be able to catch fish on. You can follow up with it, you can use it if you just see the fish there. And then the thing is, you shake it, and what I've seen is you toss it in, you can cast it, you can fish it vertically, but you can also cast it out. And once that weight hits the bottom, it's going to be suspending. So about 12 to 18 inches above that weight is where you want your hook to be, and you're basically just tying a Palomar knot, and then using that tag line to go all the way down to the bottom. So once that weight hits, you're going to shake it, but you're not going to move the weight. You're going to allow that weight to stay while your hook is moving, and you can do different cadences. I've seen really that 1 2 3 and then letting it rest, and then a 1 2 3 letting it rest kind of cadence tends to work pretty well. So we're going to go ahead and throw it in the water and see. There's some smallmouth right behind me. There's nothing real big, but they'll bite on this for sure. So let's take a look and catch us some fish. There was a bigger one right there. There we go. There's a fish. It's a smaller smallmouth. This one's just a little guy. Man. So there you go. It's that easy. I mean, the water can be clear. The water can be muddy, but they're generally going to bite. And with this setup, I haven't caught anything big, but just because the profile of the baits have been pretty small. But again, it catches fish, smallmouth bass. There it goes.